Hey Ethan, Emily, Christopher, and I wanted to put together a short video to help aid you in raising your child over the next several months and years. There'll be some special guest appearances, but most importantly, you'll probably note that I didn't direct the introduction to Anne Marie. We're pretty confident that she's going to be okay because she's been dealing with a giant baby for the past several years. Late sleepless nights, trips to the ER, crying for certain, expensive toys, and all other sorts of immature activities that we feel have properly and adequately prepared her for dealing with the trials and tribulations that lay ahead. So, Ethan, please pay attention.
Hey, get down from there. Hey. Greetings from Colorado. First, I want to apologize for not being there today. There's no place I'd rather be than at your baby shower, and these are words that I never expected to come out of my mouth. But anyway, I was asked to put together a short list of do's and don'ts of parenting, which was surprising in itself because I've done no parenting of any kind. However, I have raised a cat, which is pretty much the same thing, and that brings me to my first do. Do discipline your child. When your kid starts to get up on the counter and starts clawing at the furniture and curtains, I just grab the spray bottle. Works like a charm.
Ethan, hope you guys are doing well. Anne Marie, hope you're coping and getting ready for your new edition. We couldn't be more excited for you. I was asked to do a list of do's and don'ts given my own relatively limited experience in child rearing. So I'll start with my do's. Do remember that 8+ hours of sleep is a luxury of a bygone era. You can kiss that goodbye.
Ethan and Anne Marie, Parenting 101 by John Owen. I'm going to today provide you with one don't and two do's. My first don't: Ethan, don't teach your child how to ski. It's obvious from the recorded videos that that is not a strong suit of yours. So in the best interest of your child, please find another sport.
To give you a little bit of taste of what you're going to get yourselves into, when we left the house this morning, the basement was in beautiful, clean, pristine condition. The kids are asleep now, allegedly, and when you walk into the basement, this is now the scene of our basement. So that is what you have to look forward to, and that is just in a little bit of time. So best of luck with that, especially with all those toys and gadgets that you have, Ethan. Really looking forward to the kids breaking all of those.
Do vaccinate your children. The hippies out here in Colorado would sooner take drugs from a stranger on the streets than a certified medical professional. And the last thing that we need is an outbreak of the measles.
You do remember that the entire first year is a hold on to your butt situation. Ethan and Anne Marie, you are trying just to survive. Remember that. Do commit your baby's birth date, social security number, primary physicians, name and address, and insurance card information to permanent memory. You think that'll be easy, but remember numbers 1 and 2.
Ethan, do not blame any birthmarks the baby may have on his or her stomach on somebody spilling hot soup on it. Well, not surprisingly, we had someone go a little bit overboard in their do's and don'ts. And so, without further delay, I give you Emily's Interlude, Part 1.
Happy baby shower! We are so excited about the arrival of baby McGee. We wanted to give you guys some tips of things that we thought went well from our childhood and some things that probably didn't go so well so you guys could appropriately prepare. Number 8 for me is the amount of times Ethan has moved me. Ethan has moved me in and out of Lafayette 4 times. He also moved me from Adams to my mom's, and then from my mom's to my first apartment, and then from my first apartment to my second apartment. Ethan, your willingness to help anyone move, we've seen it over the years with your friends as well, is so appreciated. I'm sure you will need to do this with your child, with camps and college, and I hope you have the abilities that Dad had to pack a car. The amount of times you've DJ'd my sorority's parties. For those of you who don't know, Ethan became the Alpha Phi DJ, known as DJ E Money. And he DJ'd many parties on weeknights, on weekends, throughout my college career. My friends still talk about it to this day. The reason I bring this up is because Ethan has the ability to make anyone dance. Continue to do this. We've spent many nights in your garage with the kids dancing around to Lion King songs and Disney songs. Make sure you do this with your kid. I think this will create great memories for you and your family. The amount of times you've changed my tire. I've admittedly not driven so well over the years, and Ethan has willingly changed my tire. On one occasion, he changed 2 at once and has saved the day. He has been the recipient of numerous calls where I am hysterically crying. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for getting me out of trouble. I call this the risk category. Don't wait in a tree for your child to come home from school and shoot them with a paintball gun. Don't wrap them in a blanket and put them in a large laundry basket to roll them down the stairs. Don't ask them to hang dangling lights from large, enormous trees in the backyard using a ladder that probably won't withhold them for that activity. Don't give them a black eye. There's an infamous picture of me with a black eye. I highly suggest you don't give your child a black eye. And if you do, don't take a picture of it. And last, don't allow your child to back down the driveway during an ice storm. And if they do, don't let them use boiling water to get themselves out of it, because it won't work.
Make sure that the house is properly baby-proofed so that the baby doesn't accidentally fall down the stairs.
Do let Uncle Chris babysit. As you saw earlier, my disciplinary skills are on point, and I'll have you know that between the years of 2010 and 2012, I was fully certified in first aid and CPR in children.
Do spend a couple $100 stocking a world-class first aid kit. That'll mostly be for you as you stumble around in the dark at night and put all manner of torturous things together, but later on when the baby starts walking, it'll be good for them too.
My 2 do's. First, to Anne-Marie and Ethan, please take time to spend with each other. It gets very hectic with a child, and I've seen a lot of families that don't spend enough time with each other. So please take the time to make sure you spend enough time with each other.
Do get to know your local emergency room physicians and police patrolmen. Just go in and introduce yourself as a future consumer of their services. Trust me, this will come in very handy later.
As the baby grows older, he or she is going to acquire an awesomely massive and perfect baseball card collection. Do not, under any circumstances, allow the baby to sell the best cards from that collection to Danny Rush and then deny it for the rest of his or her life.
Ethan and Anne-Marie, congratulations on your new baby. I would also like to let you know that it would be a great idea to get somebody like me into your family. I know that having a baby will stress you guys out, so somebody like me will be able to relieve the stress. Should it be going for a walk with Ethan when he's caused a problem or hasn't done his job, or when Anne-Marie's had it with Ethan, I can fill both of those roles.
As for my don'ts, number 1 on my list is do not, under any circumstances, boil the air tubing for a breast pump. Just take my word for it and know that. Do not ever play catch the baby while mommy is looking, under any circumstances. Just don't do it. Always check the temperature for babies' bottles and baths. You can ask Amelia about that one. Do not let your children, under any circumstances, become a fan of any Philadelphia area sports franchise. Criminality and a lifelong defeatist attitude are sure to follow.
Don't listen to Matt. Those southern boys don't know anything but hunting and fishing. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Yeah! And lastly, do not under any circumstances allow your cousins to babysit ever. If you do, you will end up with fake blood capsules, tripped wires, stink bombs, and assorted fireworks hidden all over your house.
Hey, Ethan and Marie. Sorry I can't be there to celebrate in person. We're so excited for you. I wanted to share with you some advice that was passed down from generation to generation. Very easy. Don't shake the baby. and don't touch the soft spot, even though it's very tempting. But all seriousness, well, those were serious, but all seriousness, you guys just try to laugh, lots of humor, try to be patient with each other, try to get a date night on the books at least once a month, and try to use lots of teamwork. That's the secret. Good luck. See you soon.
All right, just in case you were having a little bit too much fun, here is Emily's Interlude, Part 2.
Number 4 represents your magic skills. There are 4 restaurants off the top of my head that I remember you doing magic. Stefano's, Salkin, the YR Club, and most memorably in a small Italian restaurant in Malvern where you scared the older couple next to us so badly that they screamed. Please continue to share your magic. Don't lose your magic. We've all benefited and laughed from your magic. The amount of times you've forgone your interests for mine. If you do have a girl, I wanted to remind you that you used to braid my hair, paint my nails, and you also used to put my earrings in when I couldn't do it and I was too afraid to tell mom and dad. So make sure you remember those skills if you do have a girl. The amount of times you have proven to me what really matters in life, and that's boy bands. In high school, you left school during the day to pick up the first NSYNC CD for me to ensure I had it before anybody else. And then a few months later, you took me to my first concert ever, which also happened to be NSYNC. Continue to share those experiences with your kids because I know I truly remember them and am grateful for them. And finally, number 1, your humor and your storytelling abilities. These are by far your best qualities, and qualities I hope you pass on to your child. I hope you continue to share these qualities with us. You have a fascinating ability to make anyone in a room laugh. Don't ever lose that, and please share that with your child. We all know we need a better storyteller in the family. Congratulations, guys. We're so excited for you.
This one is particularly for Ethan. Do invest in some hair care products. We watched our dad go from brown to salt and pepper to gray and then the eventual silver fox look later on. Ethan, I don't know if this is a good look for you, bud. Maybe look into some options. And that brings me to my one and only don't of the list. Don't forget about the sacrifices that need to be made. Allegedly, John McGee was riding around in BMWs and sailboats before we came into the picture. And Ethan, I know you like your four-wheeler, your Oculus Rift, and every Apple product since the early 2000s, but for the baby's sake, maybe it's time to start looking into some wiser investments.
Please do as John McGee did. John McGee was one of the greatest fathers I've ever seen. You are fortunate to have him in your life, and I hope that he has taught you how to be an amazing father. And if you do as John did, you'll be one of the best fathers anyone could ever ask for. Best of luck.
Well, Ethan and Anne-Marie, that about wraps it up. We hope you've enjoyed this short tutorial and the do's and don'ts that were provided to you. You've heard a lot of sage advice from many wise people. We wanted to let you know that we are extremely excited for the baby. We love you both. We are excited about the future and what it holds for both of you. And of course, to echo something Matt said earlier in the video, if you ever need a babysitter, do not call us because we will not pick up.